Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the tough topics straight from the source. So today, we're heading to New Jersey. There's a new bill on the table that's really stirring things up, and it's all about how to best protect senior homeowners.
And really, what this whole thing boils down to is a question we all grapple with, right? How do you protect people without taking away their freedom to make their own choices? It's a tricky balance. All right, before we get too deep, let's make sure we're on the same page about what a reverse mortgage actually is. Think of it like this. It's a loan that lets older homeowners turn some of their house's value, their equity, into cash. The really big difference here is you don't make monthly payments. The loan gets paid back later, usually when the home is sold or when they move out. Okay, so what's causing all this commotion? Well, it's a piece of legislation called Senate Bill 264, and it's being sponsored by State Senator Shirley Turner. Now, when you first look at it, the bill's goal seems pretty simple, and honestly, pretty noble. It wants to add some new rules for counseling and give borrowers more rights. Just another layer of protection to make sure seniors know exactly what they're getting into. But, and this is a big but, the devil is in the details, and that's where things get complicated.
So what would this bill really change?
Well, it boils down to two big proposed rules that are pretty different from the federal standards we have right now.
First up, and this is a major one, the bill says all reverse mortgage counseling has to be done in person, face-to-face, and not just with anyone, but with an agency that has a real physical office right there in New Jersey. I guess the idea is to give seniors that personal, dedicated attention and avoid any kind of pressure you might get over the phone.
The second big change is all about giving people more time to think. Right now, federal law gives you a 3-day cooling-off period to cancel the loan if you get cold feet. Well, this bill wants to more than double that, stretching it out to a full 7 days. The idea is to give folks in New Jersey a lot more time to make sure this massive financial decision is right for them.
Okay, so you've got these proposed new rules, and almost immediately they got a very strong reaction from the National Reverse Mortgage Lenders Association. You'll see them called NRMLA. They're basically the main industry group.
They did not mince words. In a letter they sent directly to the bill's sponsor, they said this bill will create a, and I'm quoting here, severe and unnecessary chilling effect on seniors' ability to obtain a reverse mortgage in New Jersey. Basically, they're saying this will freeze the market and cut seniors off from their own money.
So that's a pretty heavy claim, right? A chilling effect. So why are they so worried? Let's dig into their specific arguments against this bill.
Their first big issue is a legal one, a really big one. They're pointing out that this rule about in-person counseling, well, it directly clashes with the federal guidelines already set by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD.
And it's not a small conflict either. See, federal law doesn't just allow phone counseling, it actually requires it. The law says the list of counselors you give to a senior must include options for phone-based services. So this New Jersey bill would literally wipe out an option that federal law protects.
And then there's the practical side of things, the logistics. According to the industry group, right now in the entire state of New Jersey, there are only 2 HUD-approved counseling agencies with a physical location. Just 2 for the whole state.
And that number, just 2 agencies, creates another huge problem. Because there's another federal HUD rule that says lenders have to give seniors a list of at least 5 approved agencies. With only 2 in-state options, there's just no way to follow that federal rule.
So when you put it all together, you can see their argument is built on a few different things. They're saying, look, this bill breaks federal law. It takes away the choice for phone counseling, and it could really hurt seniors who have disabilities or maybe don't speak English as a first language, people for whom a phone call is way, way easier than a trip to an office.
And all of this leads to what the industry sees as the biggest danger of all, that this bill, in trying to help, could actually end up causing a lot of harm. The president of NRMLA, Steve Irwin, put it this way. He called it an unintended consequence. He's saying that by making counseling so hard to get, with only 2 agencies for everyone, you'd create this massive bottleneck, and that could stop countless seniors from even getting the counseling they need to apply in the first place.
And that really gets to the heart of why this is such a big deal. For a lot of older Americans who are on a fixed income, the value they've built up in their home isn't just a number. It's a real, tangible lifeline. It's the money that could pay for medical bills or a new roof or just help them buy groceries.
So this whole debate in New Jersey, it really shines a light on a much bigger question, doesn't it? When we're talking about huge financial decisions for our seniors, what's the right balance between protection and personal freedom? Where do we draw that line to keep people safe without walling them off from the financial tools they might really, truly need?